Most people grow up hearing that weakness after 70 is natural, almost inevitable. It becomes part of the story of aging that society quietly accepts. You hear it in casual conversations and jokes, sometimes even in the way doctors speak when they say, "Well, at your age?" Over time, that idea settles into the body itself. People begin to expect less from their legs, their balance, their ability to rise, turn, or react. And expectation is powerful. It shapes how we move long before muscles truly lose their capacity. But when you look closely at the human body through a scientific lens, a much more interesting story appears. Strength does not simply vanish because a certain birthday passes. The body does not have a calendar that tells muscles to give up. What changes instead is far more subtle, far more intelligent, and far more reversible than most people realize. Long before someone describes themselves as weak, something else has already shifted. It may happen quietly in the background while daily life continues as usual. People still walk, still cook, still move around their homes. Yet small clues begin to appear. Standing up takes an extra moment. Turning feels slightly less fluid. Stairs demand more attention. Legs feel heavy without pain, tired without effort. These sensations are often dismissed as age itself, but age is not a cause, age is a context. The true cause lies deeper, in how the body communicates with itself. The human body is not built around muscles alone. Muscles are responders. They wait for instructions. The real conductor of movement is the nervous system. Every step, every rise from a chair, every adjustment to keep balance begins as a signal traveling from the brain through nerves to muscle fibers. When those signals are clear, movement feels effortless. When they slow or blur, the body adapts in quiet, protective ways. With time, the nervous system changes how it prioritizes information. This is not degeneration in the dramatic sense. It is refinement. The brain becomes more selective. Reaction speed decreases slightly. Signal transmission becomes less aggressive. The system favors safety over exploration. From a biological standpoint, this makes sense. The body is trying to preserve itself, but preservation has a cost. When signals arrive later or with less clarity, muscles hesitate. Not because they are weak, but because they are waiting. This hesitation is what many people interpret as weakness. It feels like uncertainty in the legs, a loss of confidence in movement. And confidence is not an emotion alone. It is a physical state. It reflects how much the brain trusts the body to respond in time. This explains why so many older adults say they feel weak but not ill. There is no sharp pain, no injury, no obvious disease. The system is intact, but its rhythm has changed. The nervous system no longer sends bold instructions by default. Instead, it limits force, limits speed, limits risk. Strength becomes restricted not by muscle loss, but by caution. This is where misunderstanding begins. For decades, the standard advice has been simple: stay active, walk more, keep moving. And for many years of adult life, that advice works well. Walking supports the heart, maintains circulation, keeps joints mobile. It is valuable. But after a certain point, walking becomes too familiar. It no longer challenges the nervous system in meaningful ways. The brain adapts only when something demands attention. Predictable movement does not demand attention. Walking follows the same pattern thousands of times a day. The brain knows what will happen next. It stops updating its internal map. Efficiency replaces learning. And when learning slows, recovery slows with it. This is why someone can walk daily and still struggle to rise from a chair. Rising requires coordination, timing, balance, and trust between brain and body. Walking alone does not train those qualities once the nervous system has decided they are no longer essential. The body chooses the path of least risk. This choice is not failure. It is intelligence. The body is protecting itself based on the information it receives. But protection without challenge gradually becomes limitation. The nervous system begins to shrink the boundaries of safe movement. Strength feels like it is fading, when in reality it is being withheld. What is remarkable, and often overlooked, is that the nervous system remains adaptable far later in life than we once believed. Research in neuroplasticity shows that nerve pathways continue to respond to meaningful signals even in advanced age. The key word here is meaningful, not repetitive, not exhausting, meaningful. After 70, the body no longer responds well to volume. More repetitions, longer sessions, harder effort often backfire. They overwhelm the nervous system, fatigue increases, recovery slows. The body interprets stress as danger and tightens its limits even further. Instead, the aging nervous system responds to clarity, clear demands, clear balance challenges. Clear moments where the brain must re-engage with the body and ask, where am I? What do I need to do right now? These moments rebuild trust. Balance is one of the most powerful signals available. Not balance while moving forward automatically, but balance in stillness or uncertainty. Standing without distraction, shifting weight slowly, pausing between movements. These situations force the brain to reassess posture, pressure, alignment. Small adjustments begin to happen beneath awareness. Muscles wake up not through force, but through necessity. Controlled strength is another signal the body still understands deeply. Slow movements, partial ranges, brief holds. These actions tell the nervous system that force can be applied safely. Speed is not required. Effort is not required. Control is what matters. Control restores trust. Coordination adds another layer. Movements that cannot be done mindlessly reawaken communication between brain regions. Lifting a foot slightly. Rising slowly from a chair. Reaching while maintaining balance. These are not exercises in the traditional sense. They are conversations between systems that have grown quiet. When these signals appear consistently, something subtle changes. The body stops shrinking its movement. It begins to allow more force, more confidence, more responsiveness. This process is gradual. It does not feel dramatic, but it is deeply biological. What surprises many people is how little time this requires. The nervous system does not need hours. It needs repetition with meaning. A few minutes of focused movement can send stronger signals than long periods of unfocused activity. The body learns not from exhaustion, but from precision. Recovery plays a central role here. Strength does not disappear first with age. Recovery does. The nervous system needs time to integrate new information. Long sessions interfere with that integration. Short, gentle exposure allows learning to settle. This is why doing less often produces more change later in life. The body is no longer built to be pushed. It is built to be reassured. When it feels safe, it expands. When it feels threatened, it contracts. Even stillness has a role. Moments of quiet standing or sitting after movement allow the nervous system to process what just occurred. This is not rest in the passive sense. It is active integration. Without it, progress slows. With it, changes accumulate quietly. Timing also matters, not because of strict rules, but because the body has natural rhythms. After waking and moving a little, the nervous system is alert. Midday, it benefits from a reset before stiffness accumulates. Early evening, gentle movement releases tension without overstimulation. Any one of these moments can support adaptation. Consistency matters more than choice. The body responds well to patterns. When movement happens at the same time, in the same order, the nervous system anticipates it. Anticipation reduces resistance. Habit forms without effort. This is not about motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Structure remains. Mistakes often occur when people unknowingly work against their nervous system. Rushing movements creates noise. Holding breath signals danger. Constantly changing routines prevents adaptation. Measuring progress only through pain ignores deeper improvements that occur first. Waiting to feel ready delays the very process that creates readiness. Perhaps the most common mistake is quitting too early. Neural adaptation often feels ordinary before it feels transformative. Balance improves quietly. Confidence returns subtly. Strength follows later. Many stop just before acceleration begins. What changes first is awareness. The feet feel clearer on the ground. Weight shifts become noticeable. Then balance steadies, movement smooth out, hesitation decreases. Strength emerges naturally as trust returns. Eventually, movement feels normal again. Not exceptional, normal. And that is success. The body does not need to be fixed. It needs to be reminded. Aging is not a sudden breakdown. It is a gradual fading of signals. And signals can be restored gently, respectfully, intelligently. There is something deeply compassionate about this understanding. It removes blame. It removes fear. It replaces the idea of decline with the idea of adaptation. The body is not failing. It is responding to the environment it has been given. When that environment includes clear, respectful movement, the nervous system responds even late in life, quietly, consistently without force. And over time, that response changes how a person stands, walks, rises, and lives. So if there is one thing to carry with you from all of this, let it be this. Your body has not betrayed you. It has been adapting quietly, doing its best to protect you with the information it had. What felt like weakness was often caution. What felt like loss was often restraint. And restraint can be reversed when the body feels safe again. Strength does not disappear overnight. It fades slowly when signals grow quieter. And in the same way, it returns when those signals are gently restored, not through force, not through exhaustion, but through clarity, repetition, and trust. You don't need to prove anything to your body. You don't need to push it or punish it. You only need to remind it how to listen again. Small moments of balance, slow, intentional movement, stillness that allows the nervous system to learn. These are not minor actions. They are biological messages that say, you are safe, you are capable, you can respond. With time, the body responds in kind. Movements become steadier. Hesitation softens. Confidence returns not as a thought, but as a feeling in the legs, the feet, the spine. And that feeling quietly changes how you live your day. Aging does not mean shrinking your world. It means moving within it with greater awareness. When movement becomes intentional again, independence is preserved. And when independence is preserved, quality of life follows. Progress at this stage of life is not loud. It does not announce itself. It arrives quietly, in the ease of standing up, in the calm of balance, in the absence of fear. And often, you notice it only when you realize you are no longer thinking about movement at all. If this perspective helped you understand your body in a new way, stay connected here. Subscribe to the channel for more calm, science-based guidance on aging, balance, strength, and independence. Share this video with someone over 60 or 70 who feels weaker, but doesn't know why. Sometimes understanding comes before improvement. And if you found value in this, let me know in the comments. Your experience helps shape what we explore next. Move gently. Stay curious. Your body is still listening.